The first thing that pops into your head when you hear the word compost might be extremely difficult, inconvenient work. However, composting is extremely helpful for the environment, and if you have the patience, it's one of the best things you can do to regulate your weekly food waste. Most people think compost is made of fecal matter. However, compost can be made of food scraps created by humans. Leftover rice, banana peels, apple cores, you name it. Tea bags, coffee grounds, and wilted flowers can also be added to your compost pile. However, meat and dairy products should not be added to compost piles, as they attract rodents and other various pests. Any oily foods will also attract pests to your compost pile. So, where do we store these compostable food scraps? A specialized, reusable plastic container can be used to collect scraps. However, leftover cardboard boxes can also do the job just fine. Now, this is not the compost bin itself. A compost bin can be bought online for fairly cheap, or can simply be a mound of compost placed in an open area in order to avoid staining walls. We will use the compost bin to mix the compost together. Making your compost mix is a fairly simple process. You have to have categories of ingredients for your mix. The first is called greens. This includes any fruit, vegetables, grass, or coffee grounds. Any green material you add to the mix will typically be a wet material as well. The second category of ingredients is called browns. Browns are typically dry materials that include paper products, dried leaves, etc. While greens are nitrogen-rich, browns are carbon-rich. Both of these components ensure that microorganisms have the opportunity to thrive. The key to a good mix is having greens on top and browns on the bottom. Think layers of a cake. Continue adding layers over and over until you have a massive cake. For composting, continue adding layers of browns followed by greens, and repeat until you have a sufficient pile. In layering, you always want to have more browns than you do greens, so make sure to create a thicker brown layer. This will allow air to flow through the pile, giving microorganisms the air that they need to survive. After creating your pile, either in your backyard or in a community compost pile, the process of decomposition takes some time. A warmer pile will take a lot less time to decompose than a cooler one, since bacteria thrives in warmer temperatures. In addition, you should occasionally stir your pile, slowly mixing the compost for 5 to 10 minutes. Usually with a spade to ensure that air flows correctly. Finally, when your pile is finished, it will smell a certain way. Bad compost smells rotten, while good compost smells natural and earthen. This compost can now be put into your garden, allowing your plants to thrive.